Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today, guess what? Ryan Reynolds, the husband of Blake Lively, has filed a motion to dismiss New York Times, Lizzie Sloan, and now Ryan Reynolds. He claims he is innocent and has nothing to do with this. He was just being a supportive spouse. So that's kind of funny. Now he wants to leave his lovely Blake alone, his wife. So, guys, let's look at this. Let's see what people have to say. And of course, remember to drop your thoughts on this. Yeah, that's it, guys.
Ryan Reynolds has had enough of Justinbaldoni. He filed paperwork today to get Justinbaldoni's lawsuit against him dismissed. Ryan filed a motion to dismiss today saying that Justinbaldoni's defamation claim lacks legal merit and is basically just attacking him for supporting his wife, Blake Lively. Reynolds' lawyers said in a statement, the entirety of Mr. Baldoni's case appears to be based on Mr. Reynolds allegedly privately calling Mr. Baldoni a predator. But here's the problem. That's not defamation unless they can show that Mr. Reynolds did not believe that statement to be true. The complaint doesn't allege that. In fact, it suggests the opposite, that Mr. Reynolds genuinely believes Mr. Baldoni is a predator. His lawyer even got a little dig into all the Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds haters online, saying Mr. Reynolds has a First Amendment right to express his opinion of Mr. Baldoni, which should be comforting to a group of people who have repeatedly called Miss Lively and Mr. Reynolds bullies and other names over the past year. A spokesperson for Ryan Reynolds dismissed the lawsuit as an attempt to go after the actor for living the very values Baldoni claims to stand for. He said the claims filed against Mr. Reynolds are simply a list of grievances attempting to shame him for being the man Mr. Baldoni has built his brand pretending to be, a man who is confident enough to listen to the women in his life. They went on to say, we look forward to this lawsuit being dismissed and to collecting on Steve Sarowitz's $100 million pledge by recovering Mr. Reynolds' costs and attorney fees incurred to toss this frivolous case. This is referring to the fact that Steve Sarowitz was allegedly quoted as saying that he would spend $100 million to ruin the lives of Blake Lively and her family. Ryan Reynolds is asking for the claims to be dismissed without prejudice so that they cannot be refiled while he continues to support his wife Blake Lively in her legal battle against Justinbaldoni.
Well. So now Ryan Reynolds is saying that he is just being the man that Justinbaldoni claims to be, like a gentleman, and he's just supporting his wife. So why is he trying to back out now? Why does he want to have nothing to do with the lawsuit anymore? What do you think about this, guys? What do you think? Please let me know. Let's keep watching.
Breaking news, Ryan Reynolds files to dismiss from Justinbaldoni lawsuit. All right, what does this mean? Let's break it down. Has he won his case against Justinbaldoni? No. Have Blake or Ryan been dismissed from the lawsuit? No. This is all very standard, right? The New York Times has filed a motion to dismiss. Leslie Sloan, Blake's publicist, has filed a motion to dismiss. They're all saying, hey, judge, we don't want to move forward with this lawsuit. Can you please dismiss us because we're innocent? But the interesting thing is Ryan Reynolds is trying to distance him. He's trying to get dismissed from this lawsuit. But I mean, he's basically like, judge, let me out. Leave my wife in it, but let me out, which is, I don't know, it's just kind of funny. But basically, Justinbaldoni is suing Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively, Leslie Sloan, all these people for defamation, right? It's the main argument is he's saying that they defamed him. Now, when it comes to Ryan Reynolds specifically, he's claiming that Ryan Reynolds referred to him as a predator. He allegedly told WME that Justinbaldoni is a predator, and therefore that ended up with Justinbaldoni losing his representation at WME. Ryan Reynolds is saying, well, I believed he was a predator, and like that was my opinion, so like, yeah, it should stand, judge. And then he references a number of quotes from Justinbaldoni's book and podcast and TED Talk. And basically they pull a lot of old Baldoni statements that they take out of context, are basically trying to say, well, he's a predator. And Reynolds is making it clear that he didn't say that Justinbaldoni was a predator to defame him. That was just his opinion, judge. And that Justinbaldoni being let go by WME had nothing to do with him. However, Ari Emanuel at WME has already gone on the record with this now lost live taping of the Freakonomics podcast where Ari Emanuel basically said that Justinbaldoni was fired from WME and that he did this in support of Blake and Ryan Reynolds. Ari Emanuel said he is ride or die for Blake and Ryan. He also makes fun of Justinbaldoni's name by calling him Justinbaldoni. So having Ari Emanuel from WME go on record and publicly state, and he also makes it clear that he knew that this question would likely be asked of him, so it shows that this was a premeditated answer. This to me is the biggest threat to Blake and Ryan, because it makes it clear that there's somebody with a lot of power at WME that is pleading their allegiance to Blake and Ryan and fired Justinbaldoni in loyalty to Blake and Ryan. That to me is going to be the biggest piece. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what the judge decides. If the judge thinks that Ryan Reynolds should be dismissed, or if, things move forward. We'll see.
So now Ryan Reynolds claims that it was just his opinion to call Justinbaldoni a predator, which actually caused him to lose his stand at WME. Well, that is enough to be defamed. Like, you defamed him, and yeah, he's getting back at you, and you saying it was just your opinion. What if I call you a liar or some other sort of names? You have the right to sue me. Well, I'm not calling you that. Just so you know. Let's keep watching anyways. Let me know what you think.
Blake, I told you, girl, the call is coming from inside the fucking house. Pick up. Ryan Reynolds is saying he doesn't need to be here. He didn't ask for this. He doesn't have shit to do with it. And being a supportive spouse who has witnessed firsthand the emotional, reputational, and financial devastation Miss Lively has suffered. So y'all are broke. If y'all are broke, just say that. Just say you can't pay these lawyers. I know it ain't cheap. Reynolds says Baldoni's lawsuit won't hold up in court. He says him referring to Baldoni as a predator is constitutionally protected opinion. Blake's husband also rips Baldoni's lawsuit as essentially a burn book and claims Justin is trying to shame him for sticking up for his wife. Ryan, I'm still waiting for you to show us one single text message between you and Blake within the time of production that shows her distress, her discomfort, her pain, her suffering, anything. You're telling me your wife was being SH'd at work and you guys did not talk about it in text, in email one time? And I don't want to hear he was on set. He was on set a few times. There were multiple days of production where he was filming Deadpool and she was on set with Justin. You knew this whole time. You've been paying lawyer fees for 3 months. You truly believe you don't have nothing to do with this? Your lawyer should have dismissed you from this case from get-go. But no, you all thought you were going to get away with all the crap. Now that it's not looking good for you, you want a little separation. That's your wife. You're going to stick beside her. That's the bone of your bone, the rib of your rib. That's yours forever and ever. You're going down together. That should be a song. I just want to see the one text message. She texted you saying, Ryan, today's hard for me. Justin came in my trailer and he looked at me, what did I say, with his head full of hair. And yeah, and then I invited him on the jet with us and with me and the kids because I was so scared of him. Show me one text message and I'm Team Blake. But you don't got it. See you in 2026.
So after paying lawyers for 3 good months, you had something to do with it then, but now you no longer have anything to do with it. That's crazy. And of course, you must have told you something about this. Drop the text. We're waiting. Guys, what do you think about this? Is he really being the supportive person and now he doesn't have anything to do with it? He wants to go. And he wants refund of his money, of the money he spent on lawyers. What do you think about it? Let me know.
I know that we were all expecting this to drop on March 20th because that is the date that they were due, but no, Ryan Reynolds came early and someone's going to make a bad joke about that. But anyways, Ryan Reynolds has entered the chat. In the Blake Lively, Justinbaldoni litigations, he has filed a motion to dismiss, and as every lawyer on the internet predicted, this is a motion to dismiss all of the claims against him. Hi, if you're just coming across this video, my name is MJ. I am a New York lawyer. I mostly post on Threads because I'm way better at written content. But let's get into going through the introduction. If you look at this, this is the table of contents. As a lawyer, one of the first things I do if I get a motion is look at the table of contents so I can see how they are structuring their arguments and what I'm going to pay the most attention to. They open this, their introduction is very strong. They say Blake Lively sued. They list off all of the people on the other side of the V of Blake Lively, and they say they collectively launched a retaliatory social manipulation campaign to destroy and bury her because she privately spoke up about sexual harassment and inappropriate conduct that she and others experienced on the set of the film It Ends With Us. So right away, they're saying there were others involved, right? They are getting their factual digs in here as well. They're going to do that throughout this whole motion. And they say, so what does Ryan Reynolds have to do with that, legally speaking, other than being a supportive spouse who has witnessed firsthand the emotional, reputational, and financial devastation Miss Lively has suffered? Then they bold and italicize nothing. The lawyer is bolding and italicizing, they're emphasizing that point for the judge. They say Mr. Reynolds is a defendant in this action for one reason and one reason only, because billionaire plaintiff Steve Sarowitz promised to spend up to $100 million to ruin Miss Lively and Mr. Reynolds. Then they say the FAC, so First Amended Complaint, that Sarowitz and his co-plaintiffs filed seeks to fulfill that promise by polluting this court's docket with hundreds of paragraphs of clickbait designed for an audience other than this court, with virtually no bearing on cognizable, wow, I struggle with that word, legal claims. They're coming in hot. And I don't care what side you're on, Justinbaldoni's amended complaint and his timeline are procedurally improper, and they're going to face attacks like this throughout. They definitely wrote for the media. We can agree on that. But it's clear that it's going to be attacked by anyone who's filing a motion here. So then they go through and say the Wayfarer parties have described the FAC as their most recent attempt to put all the evidence before the court and the public. That is a damning concession given the lack of any actual evidence supporting any legal claim against Mr. Reynolds. The Wayfarer parties' so-called receipts include annotated excerpts, many with heavy redactions made by some identified person, of emails, text messages, videos, and photographs, such as large colored photographs comparing Mr. Reynolds' long hairstyle in a movie with Mr. Baldoni's long hairstyle at some point in his real life. But the FAC is a pleading, not a gossip rag, and these so-called, they quote, receipts fail to establish the requisite elements of a single one of the many causes of action alleged against Mr. Reynolds. The Wayfarer parties attempt but fail to assert 6 causes of action against Mr. Reynolds. Each fails. I cannot believe I'm spending this much time on an introduction, but it is worth reading it. So then they say the Wayfarer parties attempt but fail to assert 6 causes of action as to Mr. Reynolds. Each fails to plead facts to establish a claim, basically. For example, they assert a claim for defamation without pleading a single complete statement or identifying the time or place of such a statement, nor can they because no such defamatory statement exists. Further, the entirety of the plaintiff's defamation claim appears to be based on 2 times that Mr. Reynolds allegedly called Mr. Baldoni a predator, but the FAC alleges no plausible facts that suggest Mr. Reynolds did not believe this comment to be true. So that's powerful. A powerful image, probably to the public, more to the court. They're saying, even if Mr. Reynolds called Mr. Baldoni a predator, but they're not admitting that, they're saying he believes it to be true. Instead, the relevant FAC allegations suggest that Mr. Reynolds genuinely, perhaps passionately, believes that Mr. Baldoni's behavior is reflective of a predator. Even if the FAC plausibly alleged that Mr. Reynolds called Mr. Baldoni a predator while believing the opposite, which it does not, the law establishes that calling someone a predator amounts to constitutionally protected opinion, and the FAC's thin-skinned outrage over a movie character, the satirical woke nice pool, does not even pretend to be tied to any actual legal claims.
This clown is back. Ryan Reynolds files to dismiss Justinbaldoni's lawsuit. He genuinely believes Baldoni is a predator. He said that he does not believe they can identify a single alleged defamatory statement. He believes Baldoni is a predator. We believe you're a douche nozzle. Okay? We believe that you're concerned that you're going to have to be the Deadpool on the Tubi for 100 years. And no one is going to see your movies. And everybody who's been involved with this mess, honey, their life is swirling down the tube. Today I saw a post with the Jenny Slate in some new movie, and every comment was like, no, we're good on Jenny Slate. And you're worried that they're going to be good on you. But honey, we've been past good on you. Okay? They actually picked a decent picture of you for this one instead of the one where you look like the movie Butter Yellow like you did on the SNL 50. We ain't forgot. The North remembers. Okay? You attacked this man. Okay, and all he tried to do is be nice and teach his religion or whatever it is. High. That's what he was trying to be, nice and loving and kind. Okay, we ain't forgot. You're gaslighting the world. It's not going to work. Even if they did dismiss it, I promise you, there's millions of people, you won't get a red cent. You won't get a plug nickel, Deadpool. Go sell the Mint Mobile or the drinks or whatever you do. Shut up.
So we've listened to all of this, guys. Let me know what you think. Should Ryan Reynolds be dismissed from this? I mean, he strongly believes Justinbaldoni is a predator, and he says it's his opinion. Do you think it's his opinion, or he was just trying to? He did what he did to send him off the WMA. Well, guys, I leave this to you. Please let me know what you think about this. Please continue to like, share, and of course, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. See you later. We'll talk later in some other videos. Bye.